All right. Last game of the card we want to get to here is going to be the Detroit Pistons. They are visiting the Golden State Warriors. Warriors are laying 5 points in this game with a total of 229 and a half. No injury reports submitted yet, just yet for these teams. I do not believe they are in action on Friday night, but we mentioned it, another team that traded for another star player in Jimmy Butler. And it's worked out pretty well thus far with Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler. Defensively, this Golden State team has been playing very well. And Steph Curry has really flourished in having Jimmy Butler there on the floor. And he's not starting to, but he's looked like the guy that I thought he would for the entirety of the season there. But um, Detroit, a team here, Mac, that has surprised this season, led by Cade Cunningham, who is the odds-on favorite right now to win Most Improved Player of the Year. JB Bickerstaff, I think we talked about it on the last pod, coming over here, being a presence in that locker room for some of these younger guys. Right now, sitting in the sixth spot are the Detroit Pistons with a 35-28 record, 5 games above the play-in tournament bracket there of the Miami Heat. And the Golden State Warriors right now, also a team in the sixth spot, holding a half-game lead over the Minnesota Timberwolves. But a big game here between these two squads. Golden State laying 5. Mac, what are your thoughts?
Look at the my dashboard here. Last 30 days, the best teams in the NBA. Cleveland with a bullet, 17 points per 100 possessions, better than their opponent. Number two, the Detroit Pistons. That would shock me at any time of year, any 30-day stretch over the last decade. Got to be shocked by that. Number three, the Golden State Warriors. Four, Celtics. Five, Thunder. Then the Nuggets and Lakers are right behind them. Detroit is the eye popper there, and I've upgraded them. I now have them a point and a half better than an average team. That's 9.5 points higher than when I had them to start the season, which was one of the worst teams in the NBA. I wasn't the only one. Their win total was that low, but my eyes aren't that good. I can watch it. I can watch them uh, dominate the Celtics. I can watch them put up these results. I don't have a good explanation for why they're better than a team like the Magic by a point, or why they're creeping up on the Pacers, a team with Tyrese Halliburton and a lot of talent. Uh, Cade Cunningham is definitely a big part of that reason, but I don't know. Anyway, I say all that to say I try to upgrade my power ratings to stay in line with what they're currently most likely to do in any stretch. I have the Pistons 2 points worse than the Warriors, so I have this at 4. Um, Warriors are at 5. My gut says bet the Warriors, but that is why I have my power ratings
Yeah.
because I've underappreciated the Pistons up to this point, and there's a reason why I bumped up, every single time I update my power ratings. So that said, I think there's some value on the Pistons just by my power ratings. And I was also curious with this Warriors long road trip, come back home. There's kind of an old Vegas wise guy type trend that I wanted to resurface, see if there's any truth to it. That after a long road trip, you come back, you're kind of rusty at home. You got to check your mail, talk to your gardener, all that stuff. Well, if you play at least 3 games on the road and you come back home, you're only 45% ATS. Going back 4,600 games. 4,600 games is a lot. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry. It was 46% ATS over 4,600 games, which is not nothing. It's not something I would bet blindly, but it's a heck of a sample size. So I guess if I had a gun to my head, I would bet the Pistons. If I was grabbing a pizza with a buddy and wanted to watch the game and sound smart, I would probably bet the Warriors.
Yeah, I was considering the Warriors as my best bet, but it's exactly what you mentioned here. Is the first game back after a road trip for this Golden State Warriors team, and you want to get your things in order. Like you mentioned, household things, family things, and maybe the concentration or the attention will not be, or focus may not be on this game. First game being back, and the Pistons this season, Mac, have been very, very good on the road. They are just had the number in front of me here on the road, 20-11-1 ATS on the road, 64.5%. They've won 18 of their 32 road games. And if those games are in non-conference or against non-conference opponents, I should say, in those spots, 6-3 straight up, 6-3 ATS. Again, small sample size, but again, this team has improved thus far this season. This is a first leg of a back-to-back for the Detroit Pistons. They will play the Trailblazers on Sunday, but I do think the focus will be on this for this Pistons team against the Golden State Warriors. Maybe the letdown spot is against the Blazers here. But I was looking at the Warriors, but I think I've convinced myself to take the Pistons in this spot here. Just been very, very good on the road here. And again, don't want to bet on a team that's coming back from a long road trip here. So it would be the Pistons side of things for me as well. You have anything else for this game? That's coming back from a long road trip here. So it would be the Pistons side of things for me as well. You have anything else for this game?
I'm curious on that back to back. I was talking on the Dream Preview today about how this week, about how it's the worst year ever for teams on a back to back. I feel like if the Pistons win, they're very likely to drop one against the Blazers. If the Pistons lose, I'd probably lay off that game. But I don't. I the old Martingale. I might bet they don't go 2-0 here. I don't think they go 2-0, but I'll probably wait and watch and see, and then hopefully they upset the Warriors and I can fade them in the next game.